Okay, this week's quick value was Fidelity National Information Services Inc. It's a mouthful. FIS is the ticker. I'll share a link to the post in the comments. Last week I looked at global payments, GPN. Okay, post starts with market levels and some stats on macro. Okay, so here's the quick value. Chart. This stock has gone nowhere in 5 years. Typically, that's a setup I really like. Had the same look that GPN had. What they do, this is another payment processor. So you go to your local restaurant or store and you swipe your credit card. These are the guys that make that happen and put those deposits into that retailer or merchant's bank account. Have a couple of other businesses too, providing some software to banks, financial institutions. They also do securities processing for like investment management companies, broker dealers, those sorts of things. So a little bit more diverse business than global payments was. It's massively underperformed GPN and Fiserv, FISV, which owns First Data. So I really like that look over 5 years. So this has underperformed the market overall. So you know that there's been an expectations reset, and it's not necessarily a falling knife. Maybe you could call it that based on the 2021 peak. But generally, this is a long time underperformer. So you probably have a lot of investors throwing in the towel saying these guys suck. Diverse business, like I said, I think the merchant business is maybe a little bit more at risk than the banking and capital markets businesses they own. There's just not as much competition in those industries. Whereas you have Stripe and Shopify and Adyen and PayPal and all these other players that can now process credit card transactions for you, both digitally and at point of sale. So the merchant business is only about a third of EBITDA, so I think it is a pretty diverse business. Cash flow. At $70, it's a 40-ish billion dollar company. They generated $21 billion in operating cash flow over the last 7.5 years. So it generates a ton of cash. It'll be interesting to see how they start spending it now that the business is at risk. I talked about why the stock is down. Take a look at the article. It's now $70, not 74. EPS should be 660 or more in 2022 based on guidance. So it's right around 10 times earnings. Looks like it could potentially be interesting value.